Hello students, in today's lecture we shall see partitioning method in data mining. In the previous lecture we had seen numerous clustering methods that are present in the data mining. These are partitioning method, hierarchical method, density based method, grid based method, model based method and constraint based method. Now let's take a detailed explanation of partitioning method which is implemented using k-mean algorithm. This is clustering method that classifies the information into multiple groups based on the characteristics and similarity of the data. Basically, this technique is used in Amazon, Flipkart and other e-commerce websites where different products are arranged according to the category. There are different products enlisted based on electronics, TV and appliances, fashion, home and furniture, mobiles, toys, babies and beauty, personal care, sports books and more other. So if you are looking for TV, AC or refrigerator and other home appliances, for this purpose you need to select TV and appliances category. And if you are looking for particular book for the competitive examination purpose, then you will have to select books category. So all these are the multiple groups that are arranged on the basis of their characteristics and similarity of the data. It's the data analysts to specify the number of clusters that has to be generated for the clustering methods. A data analyst is a person who collects, processes, and performs statistical analysis on large data sets. Data analysts discover how data can be used to answer questions and solve problems. These people generally use SQL technology to retrieve data from database, perform analysis, and make comparisons on retrieved data from the database, and finally make decisions based on market or business. For example, if company executive want to hire trainees from colleges, basic question arises for them is how many students they can consider for campus recruitment. Since college may have more than 1000 students and it is not feasible for anyone to take interview of each student, in this case business analysts may access students database for analysis. Business analyst may assess students percentage, marks, class, performance and many other factors and put some criteria. Only those students will allow to participate in campus recruitment process who satisfy the criteria set by business analysts. In the partitioning method, when database D that contains multiple n objects, then the partitioning method constructs user specified, that is k partitions of the data in which each partition represents a cluster and a particular region. So These are the data sets consist of n number of objects. Here we need to arrange them in a category, so therefore we can make k number of cluster, and k is any random value specified by the user on their requirement. Suppose the value of k is given as 3, then this k-mean algorithm generate 3 partitions. These are the 3 partitions which represents a cluster and a particular region. So initially, before applying k-means algorithm, these were the data and they are scattered in different categories. These are not all the same. However, to make retrieval very fast, we need to apply clustering technique of the data mining technology. So to achieve this, first we need to arrange this data into the different clusters, and if you are using k-mean algorithm, then you need to define how many clusters you want to perform. That value could be considered as k. Suppose user has given 3 as a value to the k, it means that 3 different categories or 3 different clusters need to be performed based on the available data. So after applying k-means algorithm, the data are divided into these 3 different groups. This is first group, this is second group, this is third group. So all these 3 different are considered as clusters. There are many algorithms that come under partitioning method, and some of the popular ones are k-mean algorithm, that are we going to discuss in today's lecture. Then other method is PAM, that is considered as partitioning around medoids, and another term for the partitioning around medoid is k-medoid. Then third algorithm is Clara algorithm, which is considered as clustering large applications. So these are the algorithms which are applied to perform different clusters using partitioning method. Now what is k-mean algorithm? In k-mean algorithm, it is considered as a centroid based technique. The k-mean algorithm takes the input parameter k from the user and partitions the data set containing n objects into k clusters, so that resulting similarity among the data objects inside the group, that is intra-cluster, is high, but the similarity of the data objects with the data objects from outside the cluster is low, that is intercluster. So here, if you want to determine whether a particular data is belongs to a respective cluster or not, initially you need to give any specific random value to the k. It is considered as k value. Then this k value is considered centroid for the data, and all those data sets or all those values near to the centroid data are collected in a different category. So here these three clusters are performed since 3 value was assigned to the k value, and the data present in these clusters is similar. The data present within this cluster is very similar. So this data all this data which are in orange color are considered as intra-cluster, and these are very similar, that's why they are fall in the same category. However, if you compare the data presents in between all these three clusters, then these are very dissimilar. This is red data is very different from this orange data and from this blue data. So data present in this intercluster, all this different, the data present in all these different cluster is considered as intercluster data, and that are totally different. On the contrary, the data which is present in the same cluster, which is considered as intracluster data, that is similar, and all this we can implement using k-mean algorithm of partitioning method. The similarity of the cluster is determined with respect to the mean value of the cluster. Here, if you want to determine whether a particular data is belong to a cluster or not, you will have to calculate mean value first. At the start, randomly k objects from the data sets are chosen, in which each of the objects represents a cluster, that is considered as mean center value. So here, as I specified earlier, user may define any random value for k objects from the data set. So initially these k value are considered as a cluster mean center. Then later on, for the rest of the data objects, they are assigned to the nearest cluster based on their distance from the cluster mean. The new mean of each of the cluster is then calculated with the added data objects. For example, consider these are the data set available. So initially we need to pick any random 2 value which will be considered as centroids. So since if user has given initially 2 as a value to the k, then for the given data sets we need to perform 2 cluster, that is we need to categorize this data into 2 different forms or 2 different cluster which is belongs to the similar group of objects. Then initially, since I need to perform 2 clusters, any random value from these given data sets which will be considered as mean, so I will pick up any random value. So initially I have pick up this 12 value which is considered as mean value for cluster 1, and for the second cluster I have picked up 500 as a mean value. So the data which is near to the 12, that is 2 is more near to the 12, Then 38 is also more near to the 12 than 500. 4 is also near to the 12 than 500. So all those data which is near to the 12, then I will arrange into the different cluster, that is considered as cluster 1, and those data which is come near to the 500, that I will arrange to the different cluster, and that cluster could be considered as cluster 2. So this is the algorithm for k-mean partitioning method. So what is first step of algorithm? Initially randomly assigns k objects from the data set D as a cluster centers C. So here user may apply any specified value to the k value, and based on that value initially we need to pick up centroid cluster which is considered as mean value. Then at second step we need to assign each object to which object is most similar based upon mean values. As I stated earlier, here these are the different data sets. This is any random value assigned to the k value. Since the value is 2, then we need to arrange this data set into two different categories, and for that purpose initially I can pick any random 2 value which will be considered as centroid or mean value for these data sets. So here I have picked up 12 as a first centroid value and 500 as a second centroid value. These are random values. You may pick different one according to your need. Then later on I need to arrange these data sets into the cluster on the basis of the nearest value to these centroids. If the value is near to the 12, then I will put that value into the cluster 1, and if the value is near to the 500, then I will put that value into the cluster 2. Then at third step I need to update the cluster means. That is, I need to recalculate the mean of the each cluster with the updated values. So later on I will again calculate the another mean value from the generated clusters. Again I will arrange the data in the cluster based on the mean value and update the cluster value. I need to repeat this step 3 until no change occurs. It means unless and until we don't get final data set in the cluster, we need to repeat step number 3. This is a flow chart for the k-mean partitioning algorithm. So here first user need to define number of clusters, and that value is considered as k value. They need to pick up any mean value which is considered as centroid. Then the value which is near to that centroid value we have to arrange into the respective clusters. So that is clustering, we have to perform clustering based on a minimum distance value. If by performing repetition of these steps we don't get any new value into the clusters, then we have to terminate this algorithm, and if we are going to get a new value into the cluster, then again we have to repeat the same thing from the first one, that is by determining the new mean value till updating the nearest value to this mean into the cluster. So this is the example. These are all the data, and now we will arrange this data by implementing k-mean algorithm of the partitioning method. So this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18, total 19 values are there. These are the different data sets. So according to the algorithm, initially user may need to specify the total number of clusters they want to perform. Since here 2 value is assigned to the k, so we have to perform 2 different clusters of the given data set. And initially any random value I will pick up which is considered as centroid value, that is mean value. So here I have picked up 16 and 22. These are the 2 points that I have chosen randomly from the data set, 16 and 22. You may pick up any random values from the given data set. Then at first iteration, the value which is nearest to the 16, that I need to arrange in a cluster 1, and the value which is nearest to the 22, which is my second centroid, that is second mean value, that I am supposed to arrange in a second cluster. So value near to the first centroid, which is 16, so I have arranged this 16 in this first cluster. Again the 16 value is 16, which is near to the centroid value, first centroid value, that is 16. So I have set this 16 in a first cluster. Then next value, that is 17, which is again nearest to the 16. So how can I determine whether this value is near to the 16 or near to the 22? Simply I am supposed to obtain a difference value of 2 data sets. So to obtain the difference of 17 and 16, simply I need to subtract 16 value from the 17. So what is the answer of 17 minus 16? That is 1. And if you subtract 16 from the second centroid value, that is 22, then answer is 6. So 1 is less than 6. So it means 17 and 16 value has no such difference. However, 16 and 22 has more difference. So again here I will put this 17 value in a first cluster. Now next value is 20. So which is nearest value to the 20, 16 or 22? Again we need to calculate the difference of the and 16. So if you subtract the 16 value from 20, we get difference as a 4. On the contrary, If you calculate the difference of the 20 and 22, since 22 is our second centroid, that is second mean value, then you will get the difference is only 2. So on that basis 20 is more near to the 22, that is second centroid mean value, rather than first mean value. So I will arrange this 20 value and this 20 value in a second cluster. Later on again, if we calculate the difference of 21 and 16, you will get the 5 as a difference, and if you calculate the difference of 22 and 21, you will get only one difference. So again 22 value is more near to the 21, so I will put all this 21 value to the second cluster. Since 22 is the second centroid mean value, this value is the already part of the second cluster. Then we need to think about the further data. So what about 23? Definitely 23 is more near to the 22, which is having only one difference, and if you consider the difference of 23 and 16, you will get the difference as a 7. Therefore 23 is more near to the 22. I will arrange this 23 into the second cluster. Likewise rest of the data, that is 29, 36, 41, 42, if you make the difference of all these values with 22 and 16, you will analyze that all these values are more near to the 22 rather than 16. Since if you subtract 16 value from all these value, you will get the huge difference. However, if you subtract 22 value from all these value, you will get minimum difference. So accordingly, I have performed this cluster 1 and this is cluster 2. Now what is the second step? Again I need to reassign each object to which object is most similar based upon the mean value, and I need to update the cluster mean. That is, again I need to recalculate the mean of each cluster with the updated values. Now these are the updated values, and if I calculate the mean value of this cluster, I will get this is a 16.33. How I got this value? Simply I have made the sum of 16 plus 16 plus 17, that is 49. Sum of these three value is 49, and if I want to calculate the mean value, then I have to divide the sum of this value by 3, because there are 3 objects present in this cluster. So if you divide 49, which is sum of this value, by 3, you will get 16.33 as an answer. You may consider approximately 17. Again here I got the mean value as a 37.25. So here I have again made the sum of 20 plus 20 plus 21 up to 66, and how many data or how many number of value present in this cluster? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 and 16. So I have made the sum of all this value, and whatever the result, that result I have divided by 16 and I got this value 37.25. So again here I can consider approximate value as a 38 for the second mean value, for the second centroid value. So here I will consider approximately 17 as a mean value for cluster 1 and approximately 38 value to the cluster 2. Then again I will find the value which are near to the 17 and near to the 38 and arrange them according to the respective cluster. So since 16 is more to the 17 and this 16 also is more to the 17, I will arrange all this 16 and 17 value in the second cluster. Now rest of the value, 20 is more close to this 17, 20 is more close to the 17 and 21 is also more close to the 17. So I have added this 17, 20 and 21 into the second cluster, and these further values 22 and 23, these are also more close to the 17. If you get the difference of 23 and 17, you will get the value as a 6. And if you compare the value 22 and 38, you will get the difference as a 16. So huge difference you will observe, and that's why I have arranged this 20, 21 and 22, also 23 value to the cluster 1. So later on, if you see the rest of the values from 29 to the 66, you will observe this value is more close to the 38, because if you calculate the difference of 29 to the 66 values from the 38, you will get the more smaller difference rather than if you calculate the difference from first centroid value. So in second iteration, I have got this cluster 1 and this is cluster 2. So the value fall in cluster 1 are 16, 17 up to the 23, since all these value are more near to the 70. And in second cluster, the value presents are 29 to the 66, since all these values are more close to the second centroid mean value, which is approximately considered as 38. Now again calculate the new mean value from the respective cluster. So again, if you calculate the sum of 16 plus 16 plus 17 plus 20 plus 20 plus 21, 21 plus 22 and plus 23, and if you divide the sum from this n number of objects, you will get this mean value, which is 99.55. So you may consider approximate this value as a 20. And again, if you calculate the mean value from the second cluster, you will get the value as a 46.90. Again, you may consider this value as approximate 47. Now again you have to perform the third iteration, and the data which is more near to 20 you need to arrange to the cluster 1. Since this is the new updated mean value, and those data which is more near to the value 47, you need to arrange them in a second clusters. Here approximate 47 value is a new updated mean from the previous cluster. So 16, 17, 20, 22, 23 and 29 is more near to the 20 rather than 47, because if you subtract 20 value from 21, 22, 23, 29, or if you subtract 16 and 17 value from 20, you will get less difference, and that's why these value must present in a cluster 1. And if you subtract the rest of the value, that is 36, 41 up to the 66 from approximate 47 value, which is updated mean value of cluster 2, then you will get the less difference. Therefore all these value are must present in a cluster 2. Now you have got all these updated value in cluster 1 and these are updated value in cluster 2. Again you need to calculate the updated mean of the given clusters. If you calculate the mean of first cluster, you will get the mean value as a 20.50. Again here you may consider 21 approximate mean value for the cluster 1, and again if you calculate the mean value of the second cluster, you will get 48.89 as a mean value. So here you may consider 49 as approximate value for the cluster 2. Again you need to compare the all data sets with these respective mean value that you have got in iteration number 3. So if you calculate the difference of 16, 17, 20 with 21, you will get less minimum value rather than the difference of 16, 17 and 20 with 49. So the value from 16 to 29, since it is more close to the 21 value, will again present in cluster 1 in iteration 4, and the value from 36 to 66, which is more near to the 49. How can I determine all these values near to the 49? Because if you subtract 36 from 49 or 41 from 49, or if you subtract 49 from 66, you will get less difference rather than if you subtract 21 value, which is the updated mean value of the cluster 1, from 36 or 41 or 49 or even from 66, you will get huge difference. Thus all these value need to be present in cluster 2. So values from 60 to 29 is present in cluster 1 and values from 36 to 66 are present in cluster 2. Now again in this iteration 4, you will have to calculate updated mean value from the given clusters. So if you calculate the mean value of the cluster 1, again you will get the mean value as a 20.50. You may consider approximate 21 value for the cluster 1. Then if you calculate the mean value from cluster 2, you will get 48.89 as a mean value. You may consider approximate 49 as a value for cluster 2. So these are the updated mean values from the respective clusters. Again, you need to sort your data which is more near to the respective values and put them into the respective cluster. So by performing these operations, again if you calculate the mean value of both these clusters and compare these updated mean value with previous iterations mean value, you will find no difference. Here in iteration 3, mean value for cluster 1 was 20.50 and mean value for cluster 2 is 48.89, which is same you have got in iteration 4, that is 20 and 50 for cluster 1 and 48.89 for cluster 2 as well. So here the mean value of both these clusters in iteration 3 and in iteration 4 are same. So again if you compare the rest of the data with this central value, you will get the same cluster value as a result. It means the similar value will present in cluster 1 and the value from 36 to 66, again similar value will present in cluster 2. No change in the data sets from both this cluster will take place. So since no change between iteration 3 and 4, we have to terminate the execution of the algorithm. Therefore, we get the clusters 16 to 29 as a first cluster and 36 to 66 as a second cluster. So these two clusters we get using k-mean algorithm. This is all regarding with k-mean algorithm of the partitioning method. If you have any query, any doubt regarding this algorithm, you may post a comment or a query. I will definitely respond to your query. Thank you so much student for listening this lecture. Have a great time ahead.